you guys are doing awesome today. Let's see if I can, okay, there, needed to get some more light. So I hope you guys are doing great. I don't know if you can hear the rain, but it is raining so hard here today, and it's just, it's so peaceful and awesome, and I'm just really enjoying it. Yesterday we talked about emotional healing, and I encouraged you to be real with yourself and with where you really are in your grief, and just really where your heart is. I also encouraged you to make sure that you're communicating with your spouse and that you invite other godly women into your life to help walk you through the season that you're in. I also encourage you to bring some joy back into your life by finding a hobby or finding something to do that you can do in honor of your loved one that you've lost, or your baby if you have experienced miscarriage. And again, that is my journey, is miscarriage, and that's what I'm sharing with you. But you can use anything that I'm talking about with any other kind of loss that you've experienced. So today I want to encourage you on your spiritual journey of healing, which is obviously the most important. The physical healing that we talked about earlier in the week, and then our emotional healing, that is all just kind of comes together as one, and it all is related to one another, and especially with spiritual healing. So a relationship with Jesus Christ is the ultimate promise of hope. Allow him to be your spiritual life preserver. He sees you and he understands you, and he is there with you. He wants to be there right where you are, but you have to allow him in to that area of your life. First and foremost, do not let this loss define you. And again, my loss is that I'm talking of, that I'm sharing with you, is my pregnancy loss. And then also on top of that, infertility. Since that pregnancy loss, it's just kind of been this up and down battle with fertility. And so, you know, it's that's my heart. That's where I am on my journey. And so, again, this can be with any kind of loss. If it's a loss of a loved one, a different kind of loved one relationship that you had, whether it was a friend or another kind of family member, or even just a relationship. I mean, we grieve when we lose relationships. If you've ever lost a friend or a best friend, just in a spat, you can understand that you do grieve that relationship even if you're angry. And so, again, this can be go towards any kind of loss. But I just want you to know that I have been there. I've been there where I have just felt that complete just grief and sadness. And I've been in that place where I felt less than a woman because I miscarried or I wasn't able to get pregnant. And that's just such an awful place to be, where you feel less than, where you feel like you're not worthy. And I felt like I was letting my husband down, like I was letting my mom down because she wants grandkids so bad, and just kind of in that place of hopelessness and feeling down about myself. And it wasn't a fun place to be. And the loss of that baby, or loss of fertility, for those of you women who are facing and battling infertility, that does not define you as a person, and it certainly doesn't define you as a child of God. As women, we have that nurturing spirit in us, and so it's very easy to feel less than. It's very easy to feel not worthy, or that you're not doing your womanly duties. And I'm here to tell you that's so not true. That is a lie, and I just want to remind you of that. That loss of the baby or your fertility does not define you. You are a woman of God, you're a child of God, and he loves you. Let your identity be in him and only him. When we choose yes to healing, we are choosing yes to him and who he has created us to be. We are choosing yes to our identity in him, and what a beautiful identity that is. And I want you to know and be reminded that you are beautiful. You're a beautiful creation of him and who he is. And you are just so amazing. And I want you to know that. So something that I had to ask myself as I was going through my season of complete grief and complete despair was, where was I truly with God? I had to ask myself that over and over again. And I tried at first to be really, really candid and honest with myself. And for a while, I swore to myself and I swore to other people that I wasn't angry with him, that this was life. This is some of the things that happened. And I've always battled, issues with PCOS. And so, none of this was, I guess you could say, necessarily a shock for me, because I had been battling these kinds of problems, since I had started my womanhood. Sorry guys, any guys that are watching this, but this is real life here. This is real talk. And so, I always had cyst ruptures. I was always in and out of the hospital. And so having any kind of health problems or having a high risk pregnancy wasn't news to me. Yet deep down inside in the core of me, I felt so angry, and I felt hurt and let down by God. I felt like he rejected me, and I felt forgotten. I would see other women getting pregnant and starting their families, and I felt so forgotten. What about me, God? I want to be a mom too. Do you not think I'll be a good mom? Do you not think that I can raise a child to be, this amazing person? And when I finally got real with those emotions and really asked those questions, that was when my healing really began. So I'm encouraging you today to be really honest about where you are with God. Where's your heart with God? Are you angry? Are you hurting? Are you sad? Do you feel forgotten? Tell him, talk to him. Let him know, because I promise when you finally admit where you are, you're going to just feel a release, and you're going to feel safe again, because you're being real with yourself and you're being real with the one who created you. I promise he already knows that you're upset with him or angry with him. He already knows that. So there's no need to even try to hide it. It doesn't make you any less of a child of his. It doesn't make you this terrible person because you're having real life emotions. He knows how you're feeling. He knows your heart. He knows everything about you, yet he still loves you. He loves you with everything that he has. So just like any relationship, we can feel certain feelings. We can feel hurt. We can feel angry. And just like any healthy relationship that you want to continue in your life, you have to talk to them. You have to communicate with them. And so just like a real life relationship, this is a real relationship with God. And so you have to talk to him. You have to let him know how you're feeling. You have to let him know where you really are. You need to let him know these things. And I promise once you do that, it opens the door for healing. It opens the door for him to tell you truth, to speak to you, to speak to your heart, and to just remind you of how beautiful and amazing you are. And that's what happened to me when I finally just let it out and said, God, I'm angry with you. I'm sorry. I've tried really, really hard not to be, but I am, because I feel forgotten and I feel rejected by you because you won't allow me to be a mom. And when I did that, he completely came in and reminded me that he loves me, that I am his child, and there's nothing in the world that can take that away. There's no loss in the world that could ever take that away. He doesn't reject me. He doesn't love me any less. This is just the journey that he has picked. And once I accepted that, then I was able to be reminded and to embrace that he handpicked me for the pregnancy, for the baby. Even though it was for a short while, he handpicked me to be that baby's mother. And I had to remember that. And I had to embrace it. And I did. I've embraced it wholeheartedly. And now I can just walk with joy and peace and knowing that he does love me and he loves you. So today, I encourage you to humbly invite God into the very core of your heart. Be honest with him about how you're feeling, about the emotions that you have going on, about the thoughts that you think. Allow him inside that core and to see that pain, to hear that pain, and for you to admit that pain to him. And then once you do that, you open the door to allowing him to grow you into that woman of God, to use this pain for a purpose and to grow you even more into that woman of God that he has created you to be, that he wants you to be. So when you're able to say yes to his peace and healing, you are saying yes to who you are in him as a child of God. You're saying yes to your amazing creator. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand. Isaiah 41:10. I hope that this blesses you today and that you know that he hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't rejected you. He'll never reject you, and he will never forget you. He knows everything about you. He knows what you think. He knows your favorite colors. He knows your favorite meal. He knows that you have to have coffee in the morning before your day starts, or you might, get frustrated easier. I mean, he knows every little detail about you, good and bad. And so there is nothing that can separate you from him when you're dealing with this grief and pain. Those angry emotions are not going to separate you from him. But you have to make that choice to not allow it to separate you from him. And I'm begging you, if you're going through grief and you feel anger towards God, I'm begging you to talk to him, to allow him in, and to just seek that grace and that peace that you will find in him. Because the last thing that you want to do and that I want you to do is to allow any kind of pain or any kind of loss to separate you from the one who loves you the most, from the one who created you, from the one who loves you inside and out. I don't want you to ever lose that. And so I just pray for you that you will seek him and that you will be real with him and real with yourself, so that way healing can truly begin. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And if it's raining in your area, throw on some rain boots and go hop in the rain puddles, which, if you know me personally, you know that I love to do that. So I might go and walk the dogs and do that. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Love you.